Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to English grade 11. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. I hope that you're doing well and I hope that I'm very much audible for Zoom class students. Now let's begin our lesson. This is our lecture number 2 from unit number 3. In the last lecture, we talked about context clues, that how we can reach out to the meaning, the correct meaning of any word or phrase that is unknown, and by using the context clues or hints, we can find the meaning of that phrase or that word very efficiently without the need of any kind of help. So we talked about different context clues, and it's a very important lecture. If you've missed it, you can watch it on YouTube and solve the available resources as well. Now today we have this students learning outcome of lecture number 2. It's called use all types of tenses correctly in speech and writing. Yes, we are going to talk about tenses. Now this is not something new. We have been learning tenses for a very long time. For grade 11 students, you must be aware of all these different tenses, their different variations of time, and how we can use them effectively in our writing and in our speech. So let's begin the lecture. I hope that now you're recalling your concept of tenses, and if you have any kind of confusion, it would be clear from this lesson. So bear with me, brace yourselves, and let's begin our lesson. Now, let's talk about tenses. What are they? The word tense, the singular word, is used to denote a characteristic of the verb in a sentence. What characteristic? Either the verb is used in the present form, in the past form, or so on. So this is all about that. The tense of a verb is used to depict the particular time. Why are we learning this? To predict the time or depict the time of the sentence, of the saying or the statement in which a specific event is taking place. So if somebody is talking about something, that tense should be clear, the correct form of verb should be used in order for the listener or the reader to identify that what specific event are we talking about, what is the time. Now, there are 3 main tenses. We are already aware of them, and each is further classified into 4 different types. It means we have 3 main tenses and they are classified into 4 different types or kinds. The 3 tenses in English are, let's look at them. What are they? Yes, we are already very much familiar with this. We have present tense, set in this present time as we are speaking, in the past tense, which is set in the past, time that has passed or time that is part of the history. Now, future tense. Future is there, which is something to come yet. We are not talking about present or past. We are talking what will happen in the future. So for that, we are going to use future tenses. For the current time, as the speaker or the writer is talking or writing, that would be the present tense for that writer or speaker, and the past tense will be telling you something that has already been done, which is not part of your present. So all these different times are very much important. These are our main tenses that are classified according to the time: the present, past, and the future. So as we always do, let's begin with the present tense, students. The present tense refers to the action or event that takes place or it is taking place in the present time, in the current time in which we are or the speaker or the writer are. It represents the current activity or the present state of being of the subject in the given context. So context, the surrounding, the whole understanding is also very important. The present time can be what it is in the current state of being or what it is taking place. We can see that these are also classified into different types. Let's see the types of the present tense. Yes, how many of them can you recall? I hope that you're very well aware of it. Now, is everything clear till now? Rayan, Lukman,
Yes, sir.
Zumeed? All right. Okay, let's talk about the present tense, which can be divided into 4 different types. What are they? Simple present tense. Simple means this is really simple. It is not continuing, it is not completed. This is just simple. It used to indicate an action that takes place regularly. Regularity is key. Then we have present continuous tense. It is used to denote an action that is continuing. It means the action is still happening at the present moment. So if we have this kind of scenario or situation, we will use present continuous tense. Continuous means it is continuing, it is in the process. And third one is our present perfect tense. Perfect indicates that action is completed. It used to indicate an action that is completed. That's why we call it perfect tense, and it can be in the present, future, or past. Now, this is something that is immediately completed in the immediate past. So, we are going to see each example of these different types of present tenses. Now we are clear that present is, when we are saying this, we are talking about the current state, the current time in which the speaker or the writer is communicating. Now, let's look at these examples. He has just gone out. It has just struck 10. Yes? What are these examples for? This is a complete action of present perfect tense, but the action is completed. Present perfect continuous tense, we also have this form, the fourth one. So we saw that there is simple, present, simple, continuous, perfect, and present perfect continuous. All of these three combined is used for an action which began at some time in the past and it is still continuing, it is still going on. So if we are going to explain something in this kind of time, we are going to use our present perfect. Action was began at some time and it is still continuing, and that's why we have continuous tense in it. For example, he has been sleeping for 5 hours. What do you mean by this? What tense is this? Is it present? Yes. He has, not had. It means it is in the present form. Sleeping. Sleeping tells us that this is a continuing action. It is still going on. And perfect. He has been sleeping for 5 hours. It means he's been sleeping for 5 hours in the past, before 5 hours. So this means, and he is still sleeping. So we have all the requirements of a present perfect continuous tense in this sentence. He has is our present, been sleeping is talking about perfect action, and continuous is sleeping where he is still sleeping. Next one is they have been building the bridge for several months. They have been playing since 4 hours. Have tells us that it is in the present form. And this been tells us this is perfect, and playing tells us, ing tells us that this is a action that is still going on. So present perfect continuous tense is very much clear over here. You have to use the helping verbs in the present form, and you're going to use the ing form with the verb to show that this action is in the process, it is continuing, and you also have to show that the action is completed using the verb form of past to show that the action is in the perfect form. Okay, now let's look at the structure of the present tense. This is a table which will tell you very efficiently about how everything goes. You can take a screenshot or just note it down or your notebook and save it or memorize it by heart so that you don't have any trouble when you're dealing with tenses. So first we are dealing with the present tense. Here the tense is simple present tense. The structure, let's talk about the structure of present tense. You have your subject plus the base form of the verb, the very basic form. Then you will add s or es according to the subject plus rest of the sentence, the other sentence. Now, if you follow this formula or the structure, you can successfully make a sentence in the simple present form or present simple form. I go to school every day. He plays cricket. I is the subject plus base form of the verb. What is our verb? Go. Go is in the basic form of the verb go. And then go to school every day. The rest of the sentence. Next is he plays cricket. He is our subject. Play is in the base form of the verb, and we are adding s because we have he. When you are having he and she, you add s with it. Cricket, the rest of the sentence. So we saw the tense, the structure, and the example. It is carefully and fulfillingly put in the structure, and this way you can create your present simple tense. For present continuous, you have your subject plus the helping verb. It can be am, is, or are. These are our auxiliaries or helping verbs, plus your main verb, plus your ing because this is continuous, plus the rest of the sentence, the remaining sentence. For example, Tanya is watching a movie. Tanya is our subject. Is watching is our main verb. Our helping verb is because the action is happening currently. That's why we are using is. Watching. Watch is our main form of verb, plus you add ing with it, just as we talked about in the structure, and then the rest of the sentence, a movie. So this is how you make a present continuous tense. You can see this example as well. It's the same. For present perfect tense, you add your subject plus has or have according to the subject, plus your past participle, the past form of the verb, plus the remaining sentence. For example, Tariq has left. Tariq is our subject, has, have is our helping verb, and past participle of leave. It is left. Left is a past participle of the verb leave, plus the rest of the sentence. So you can see by using the structure, we created a successful sentence in the structure of present perfect tense. Now, present perfect continuous tense. It means we need ing form. We also need some helping verbs, a completed action to show, and that's how we can make our present perfect continuous. Subject plus your helping verb plus been. Been is very important in the present perfect continuous, plus your present participle of verb, the present form of verb, the simple form. You add ing with it, plus since or for, to show that how long the action is being happening if needed, only if it is needed. It means that there are sentences of present perfect tense which are not having since or for, plus the rest of the sentence. Let's look at this one example. They have been waiting for you for a long time. They, subject, plus have been. Have is our main helping verb, been, always, and then present participle, wait, not waited but wait, plus the ing form, plus since or for. What do we have here? For a long time, for 3 years, or for whatever. Now here you see all these different 4 types of present tenses in the simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. You have to memorize the structure very well in order to create these. Now, the present tense changes its structure when used in the positive, negative, interrogative, and negative interrogative sentences. Obviously, when you are adding some additional words in the format, in the structure of the present tenses, the tenses will have to be changed, because if it's an interrogative, then it will be formed into a question. If it is in the negative sense, then the word not or do not will be added. And if it is in the negative interrogative sentence, it will also be changed. Now, let's do this activity very quickly. The team blank all their calculations and analysis. What do you mean by this? Yes. What is the right answer? Yes, Ryan.
Sir, had finalized.
The team had finalized all their calculations and analysis. What tense is this?
Sir, present perfect.
No, it is not. We are talking about present. So you cannot have had here. The team is finalizing all their calculations and analysis. This is in the form of present continuous, right? Next, if she more rigorously, she would understand the complex theories better. If she has studied. So you can solve all these as a classroom activity. You just take the screenshot and solve these according to the tense. Notice the time. The tense is very much important over here, and this one also. Now, since this is about present tense, so all the answers will be of the present tense variations and different types. So ignore the past forms, focus on the present. Okay, there's an activity after every kind of tense we have, so you need to be very careful in answering and solving them. Now, in the past tense refers to the action or event that took place or was taking place in the past. There are two situations. Either it took place or it is taking place. All right? Okay. Let's look at all these forms. Again, it has also the same kind of forms like the present tense. The past tense has 4 different types. Number 1 is the simple past tense. Let's look at this structure. Quickly move over here, structure of the past tense. First, we have simple past tense. This is the structure. You have your subject as always, plus your verb. You have to add ed or d with the verb to show it in the past form, plus the rest of the sentence. Let's look at this example. Nadia met me at the park. Nadia is the subject. Met, this is our verb, but this is in the past form, right? Ryan, is it in the past form?
Yes, it is in the past.
Me at the park. This is the rest of the sentence. Past continuous. It means we have to put ing, subject, plus the helping verb, was or were, according to the subject. If it is singular, then if you're referring to the first person, then you do was, and if it is someone else, or in the plural form, it depends upon the kind of subject. Plus your main verb, plus ing, because we are talking about continuous, plus the rest of the sentence. Now let's look at this very simple basic example. It was raining. What is it? What is it over here?
Subject.
Yes. Subject, then our helping verb in the past form, was. Why not were? Because we are talking about a singular thing. It was raining. Main verb rain plus ing. Raining. And that's it. Past perfect tense will be the subject plus the had plus your past participle of the verb and then the rest of the sentence. For example, Tahir had eaten his dinner before we reached the venue. All right. So there are two actions happening, one happening before and one happening after. So that's why we use our past perfect tenses to show that how actions are happening before or after. When there are two actions, you have to show what happened before or after, then you can use the past perfect tense. So Tahir is our subject, had is our must and necessary word to put over here. Eaten, past participle of eat is eaten. Then your rest of the sentence. And whenever you are having the verbs, you will always do it in the past participle. Next, your past perfect continuous tense. Your subject plus had plus been, because when we are talking about perfect continuous, you always add been, plus your present participle. It means the present participle form of the verb with ing, then you add since or for if it is needed, then the rest of the sentence. So let's look at this example and analyze it. Shams had been practicing the guitar when the teacher called for him. Shams is our subject, then our had, been, practice. Practice is in the present participle form. ing is added, then the guitar when the teacher called for him, then the rest of the sentence. So see, since and for was not needed over here. So we did not add since or for, and the sentence is still standing correctly. The past tense, students, also changes when you change the sentence according to the interrogative, negative, or negative interrogative variation. So it will have a slightly different structure, but the main structure will always remain the same. Now, by the time I got to the airport, the plane already take off. This is our hint. So what's the right answer? Taken off. While she studying for the exam, her friend were playing outside. While she was studying for the exam, they wait at the bus stop for over an hour when the bus finally arrived. They have been waiting. Have been waiting. Wait will be waiting with ing. Present participle followed by ing. And you have this. So this is in the present perfect continuous form. All right. So you can solve the rest of these by yourself as an assignment, as a task to practice your learned concept of the tense. And finally, we are talking about our future tense. Again, it is divided into 4 parts, just like the other 2 tenses. The future tense is the form of a verb that you use when talking about something that will happen or exist. That will happen. Will means it will happen in the future. The future tense can be used in 4 different forms in order to show the action in the future behave differently in various situations, and they are: number 1, your simple future tense, then your future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous tense. All right, let's see the structure over here. For simple future tense, what do you need? You need auxiliary verbs like will, shall, etc. Subject plus your auxiliary verb will plus your base form of the verb and then the rest of the sentence. Subject is Ajmal over here, auxiliary verb is will, and the rest of the sentence in the very basic form. So that's how you make a simple future tense. Future continuous tense will have a subject plus helping verb, will plus be. Now this is a new thing over here. Plus your main verb plus ing plus the rest of the sentence. And that's how you make a future continuous tense, students. Ajmal is our subject. Will be is our part of our future continuous, our verb. And then the main verb meet with ing. So this will become meeting and then the rest of the sentence. For future perfect tense, you add your subject plus your helping verb plus have plus past participle form of the verb and then the rest of the sentence. Just like in this example, Ajmal plus will have, because we are talking about future perfect, action that will be completed in the future. And then your past participle form of meet, which will become met me at the gym. So for future perfect continuous tense, as always, your subject, your helping verb plus have plus been, because we are talking about perfect continuous, plus your main verb, then you will add ing because we are talking about continuous, plus the rest of the sentence. Your subject Ajmal, then your helping verb will have been, will have then been for perfect continuous, and then the rest of the sentence. So you can see that by following the structure, you can make sentences accordingly. So you must memorize all the structure of present perfect and continuous in different 4 variations that we have in the simple, in perfect, in continuous and perfect continuous. Now, what is this sentence about? Sarah, her presentation by tomorrow. We are talking about the future, right?
Sarah will finish.
Yeah. Sarah will finish her presentation by tomorrow. Very simple. Okay, this one. By the end of the year. Now, again, we are talking about future. The new software. By the end of the year. What is the sentence? Is it used? No. Then what? Your auxiliary verb, your helping verb will come over here.
Will be used.
Will be using the new software. This one, last one. By the next summer, again we are talking about future, they dash their house.
Will have sold.
They will have sold their house. Not sell, because this is not according to the structure. This is for the past. This is not the case over here. We will be selling. So they will have sold. They will be selling. This is in the future continuous, and this is in the future perfect. Now, you can solve these questions. They are also available in the book as well. And all these MCQs, you can solve them according to the structure. And if you have any kind of trouble, then you can go back straight to the table of present, perfect, present, future, and past tenses, and you can revisit them and then solve the questions again. Okay, this is your worksheet where this is a passage with blanks. You have to solve it according to the time, and when you're reading it, you can easily see what kind of tense should be there. Now you have to put all your understanding and theory into practice and solve this worksheet. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that we have covered our SLO correctly, that we covered all the different types of tenses. Now, we talked about present, future and past with their 4 different variations, followed the structure of all these 4, and we also have some MCQs for you in the book as well, and also in the PPT. You can access them easily as a resource that you will be finding, and you can also access different resources. Thank you so much. I hope that everything is clear. I'll see you in the next video lesson. Take care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.